Hi, this is Simon with Trade and Perform Coaching, going over the ES and NQ markets for Monday, January 6th, 2014, and it was a good day. So just a quick disclaimer up front, guys. This is for educational purposes only. Nothing in the Twitter stream, stock twits, on the blog, or in this video should be considered a trading recommendation. Trading futures is aggressive and dangerous. Please consult a trading professional to determine whether or not trading futures is appropriate for you and your investment objectives. Okay, we got rid of the legalese there. So look, guys, this morning we had some pretty clear objectives, right? The first thing that we were looking for is, well, either trend day up or trend day down, right? And we had a couple of possible objectives for what could turn into at least a drive down, right? And if you look at this bar, and you know this bar is a little deceiving because it's not exactly the type of bar I wanted up here for this video, so we'll change it. There we go. If you look here, we had three nasty red bars right out of the gate. The first 15 minutes straight selling. Okay, so this is indicative. This is indicative of an open drive down, guys. If you don't have this printed on your charts, you should get it printed, okay? So the key was, and I mentioned before that I said I might take a trade out of the white zone, right? But that it was extremely aggressive. Know what your stop is if you're going to take it. I ended up not taking this trade. We rejected firmly from the levels above. We were unable to make any kind of push. And if we look back a little bit, right? This was resistance all into Friday. We were unable to make any push above Friday's highs. Okay, we rejected. And then I said I wanted a nice rotation down. So where we took the trades, if you'll take a look today, and I called all these out. I don't call them out every day. I did call them today, right? Look how beautiful this rotation is from 832 and change all the way down to 824, right? That gave us a fantastic trade location. It yielded us our 2 points. Now, I catch a lot of crap from people. Well, you can get more than 2 points, or I can get 10 points, or I can get 15 points. Or some people say, well, I could have shorted out of the gate, right, and already had 10 points in the bag. And that's cool. That's all those things are true. You could have. The question I always ask when I'm trading is, what can I repeat 8 or 9 times out of 10, right? My threshold is 70%, but I'd rather be at 8 or 9 times out of 10 and reduce my stress levels, right? So my plan was to wait for a good rotation, right? We got a good rotation right into the zone, and I said I'd take a trade here, and I would take a trade here. I did not record this morning's market preview. Hopefully I will have that handled tomorrow morning. I will not make that mistake twice. Integrating the new technology, and I had tons of problems with my platform this morning out of the gate. So I was a little off center. Anyway, we get that corrected. So first time in here, right? I get my 2 points, pre-planned, right? Entered this trade, met my minimum for rotation size, got my 2 points without any stress, okay? And I wasn't worried about the rollover to the downside, right? Now, again, I said my next target for entry would be in this zone down here. Now, I had stepped away. We'd gotten close to that 1030, and when I came back, we were actually below 1818, but it didn't matter. Top of the zone worked fine, middle of the zone, and back of the zone. All of these provided good trade location. First time in was the key, right? Notice how little heat you took on these trades, right? We did not trade behind here. So again, one of the things that I stress when planning my trades, you know, all these outs were for 2 points with trailers. Didn't even leave a trailer in this particular case. So some people ask me, well, why don't you go for 8 or 10 points? Well, the reason why is, first of all, I trade very leveraged. I want to get my risk off the table. And so the same guy who says, well, you know, I took it from 1817 all the way up to 1826. I got 9 points on this trade. Well, that may be true, and occasionally I do catch those 9 points, okay? But if that's all you're trading for, and you tried that same shot from this zone right here, all you ended up with, right, was either a stop at break even or a trading loss, okay? So let's be generous and assume the guy took a stop at break even, because, and my question is always the same, how do you know it's not going to rotate 10 points from this zone and it is going to rotate 10 points from this zone? The answer to that question is you don't, okay? Anyone who says they do, that they know that's going to rotate for 10 points, is full of crap. So let's say he got 0 here. Well, we already bagged 2 points here, right? in a relatively low stress manner. We bagged another 2 points here, right? So at this point, this gentleman's got 0, and he's got 0 on the book so far here as well, right? We also took a short first time in with tick divergence right here on this trade, and it gave us 2 points here. So I've got 2, 4, 6 points in the bag at this point. And the guy who took the trade from here, you know, yeah, sure, he ended up with 3 more points than I did. But man, he had a stressful day. And not only that, but look at the stress involved in this. This is ridiculous. Look how long you had to hold this trade to make it work. Now, most people will say, well, yeah, it never gave you any heat, this, that, and the other. But let me tell you, when the market, when all you have is this, okay, when all you have is this and you have no significant bounce off the lows, right, how in the world are you going to tell me that you're holding this and comfortably, right? Most traders I know have several anxieties that run along their trading, right? The first one is they don't want to lose money. The second one is they don't want to give back profits that they've already had, right? And then the third one is they don't want to turn a profitable trade into a losing trade. Well, let me tell you, when you combine that all together, this all adds up to a stress ball is what this is. This is very, very hard to hold for most traders. If you can do it, I'm not addressing you. It's no big deal. You don't have to send me a long email about how you can hold through an hour and it doesn't bother you. That's great. For most traders, it's hard to do it. And from my point of view, time is not your friend when you're trading in a leveraged fashion. And I discourage people from doing it unless you can get a significant amount of risk off. And then I go through my trading clients, you know, what is the best way to manage it after you've gotten risk off? Move stops to break even, the position as a whole, move it to break even from point of entry, to trail up. You have lots of options, but the first is to get the risk off, right? And really the only option you truly need to grow that account is all you need is 1 or 2 trades a day with 2 points in them. So there's another thing that I wanted to show you here that was very interesting to me. Obviously, I left before the last hour commenced. I had an appointment. And you'll see one of the points I want to make, and that really brings the point home, right? If you shorted here, right, and you were shooting for lows, most markets don't close on the low of the day, okay? And you had a 2-point stop. Well, this is 26 right here, I believe. And we just tagged 26. I can't swear to it. You need to go look. I didn't look exactly, but I'm pretty sure we tagged 26. If you didn't take your 2 points here, and you entered poorly, meaning you didn't wait for the tick divergence, which I said you needed to wait for tick divergence on this trade, right? Or you were holding out for new lows, all of these trades lost you money. The only one that made you money in this trade with a reasonable stop was taking your 2 points here. Now, if you re-entered here or not, totally your call. As far as I could tell, this was a no man's land for me. There's no reason to enter up here, but it doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is I already had my 2 points in the bag. I was shut down for the day, and I wasn't having to deal with the last half hour and all this crap that comes along with the last half hour back and forth. If you can trade it and you can figure out how to trade it and the wiggles don't bother you, more power to you. The last piece that I have here, and I know I'm approaching 10 minutes, and I swore I would keep these trade reviews short. That is my New Year's resolution. Let me see if I can get over to the NQ real quick and give it a little attention. So on NQ, right, first trade I took was right here. Only trade I took actually was right here. And it gave me a rotation from where I entered, right, and I printed where I entered the trade all the way up to 35.20. So even if you had a terrible entry and you entered, well, not a terrible entry, but the highest, the first possible entry that I would have taken, right, that would have given you 35.15. You need an appropriate stop behind the zone, right? And you got to trade up to 35.20. Now, normally I trade with almost a 10-point stop on NQ, and there's a reason for that. Had I decided to hold this trade, that this was going to be near the low of the day, right? That 10-point stop was back here, and it kept me in the trade. Okay, that 10-point stop, by the way, only works if you've got good trade location, guys, right? And eventually, right, from 35.14, almost gave me 15 points from the front, almost 20 points from the middle of this zone, right? So I want y'all to see that because I had good trade location, right? I had the potential, while I took all my trade right here, I had the potential to push this trade all the way up into the next resistance zone. I didn't take this short here. I don't like messing with NQ in the last hour either. I don't have a lot more to reiterate besides 2 things. First of all, we were below the white zone. Sellers were in control all day long, right? White zone works like kryptonite. Closer you get to it, the stronger it is, the further away the the less effective it is, right? So if we're Superman, we want to stay away from kryptonite, and we all want to be Superman, right? And if we look at ES, same exact concept, right? We opened at the white zone, we failed there at the white zone, okay? We're never able to get back up to test it. Sellers in control all day. The closer we got to it, once we fell below, right, the more effect sellers had. You can see these push downs here, right? Push down here. Less effect, we pushed up, and then push down back here. Okay, and so there's more to it than that. It's not easy 1, 2, 3. The trades are straightforward. There's an entire methodology for approaching the day, and that methodology calls for a reinforcement of good trading behaviors, a reinforcement of fundamental points of entry, including what size rotation do you need, what's our objective on the day, what time of day is it, right? And what size are you putting on? It's not just about capturing one trade. It's about shifting that mentality from how many trades can I get in a day to I only want the best trades, and I'm going to increase my trade size as I move along. I want to reiterate this fact very heavily. Anybody can learn to trade profitably. Anybody. Okay? It's simply a matter of you being willing to admit that you can't trade every single trade out there, nor do you have to, right? And giving in to discipline, right? Structure, reducing excitement in your trading, and actually having it be as boring as can be. This was so pre-planned, guys. I put X's here in the morning in the market preview, right? I mean, you can't get much more than that. This was about the most unplanned thing in the course of the day. It was boring, boring, boring. And you know what? That's incredibly profitable, and that's great. Less stress, more money. Who doesn't want that combination? So anyways, I'm done, guys. I think I am now officially, let's see how far I've moved into the day. We're 12 minutes in. I'm working on getting these shorter. Please join me tomorrow morning. I'll be doing the trade review. Everyone is welcome. I'm getting better at them, hopefully, and it's really giving some really great opportunities to traders out there, and hopefully you'll be one of them. So my name is Simon. You can reach me at tradeandperform@gmail.com. You can hit me on Twitter or on StockTwits. I hope everyone banked today, and we will see you bright and early in the morning. Have a good night, guys.